Now to a KRDO investigation. Millions of dollars are on the line for southern Colorado. Losing that funding could be devastating for our schools, emergency response times, and critical road projects.
It's all related to a Colorado tax law called the Gallagher Amendment. Right now, an effort is underway at the state capitol to repeal it to avoid potentially catastrophic budget cuts in 2022.
Quite frankly, the whole scenario is difficult to explain, but given its potential impact, it is important for us to try. News Channel 13 investigative reporter Chelsea Brensel joins us in studio. She has been digging through the numbers to walk us through how this could affect us all. Chelsea.
Well, Bart, Heather, there are two sides to this. The Gallagher Amendment, if it remains in place, will lower residential property taxes in 2022. That's great news for homeowners, but for schools and counties and small fire departments who rely heavily on property taxes, it means significantly less money for them when they're already faced with budget cuts because of the pandemic's impact on the sales tax.
Back in 1982, Coloradans voted to change the way homes were appraised. The Gallagher Amendment ensured property taxes on homes would always be less than on businesses. The Gallagher Amendment requires that homeowners pay 45% of the state's property tax revenue and commercial property owners pay the remaining 55%. Because of the loss of revenue due to COVID-19, commercial properties will soon be valued much lower, and because of the Gallagher requirement, residential values will also have to be lowered in order to maintain that 45-55 ratio. So what's the impact locally? The El Paso County tax assessor predicts as much as an 18% loss of property tax revenue for individual school districts in the Colorado Springs area, more than a 17% loss of revenue for El Paso County, and up to nearly 18% in tax revenue cuts for fire districts like Black Forest, Peyton, or Hanover, which rely more on property tax revenue than anyone else.
Now, as we mentioned earlier, a group of state lawmakers are pushing to repeal the Gallagher Amendment. But even if voters approved it, that would only mean the cuts are half as bad as projected today. Those who oppose repealing the law believe it could lead to other loopholes and tax increases in the future. Bart, Heather.
We'll continue following it closely. Chelsea, thanks. Over the last few weeks, school districts have struggled to find a way to balance their budgets due to that loss from sales tax revenue from the state. So this would make the second round of cuts of losses from property tax revenue all the more difficult.